Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about 8 things that you should think about before doing your USA road trip. Some of the things in this list we definitely didn't think about, but before I start though, I want to tell you, you can go watch the whole entire road trip on my channel. If you just click on the playlist, it will put every single video we made during that trip. So let's get straight into it. Number 1 is build a plan of where you're going and where you'll be sleeping. When planning our trip, firstly, we wrote a list of all the places we wanted to go, what we wanted to see. We put it on a map and we just pretty much drew the lines together, and that was our shape of our road trip. One thing we definitely didn't think about was where we were going to be sleeping. We obviously had seen videos where, oh, you can sleep here, but not all places that easy. We ended up sleeping in a bunch of different places like Walmarts, rest stops, desert, and even at one point a Crackle Barrel. These places are free, so you'll save money by staying them. There's also, obviously, campsites can be quite cheap as well, which will be up to $20 to $30 per night. We felt the safest while sleeping in the car rest stops because everyone else was there to do the same thing, which was to sleep. But other places gave us different stories that we'll definitely hang on to for the rest of our lives. Like Crackle Barrel was a bit of a dodgy one for us. You can actually go listen to that in my podcast. I spoke a bit about that. Worn Out Shoes, it's on Spotify. I'll put the link in the description and you can check it out after this video. We use different websites and apps to find these rest stops and free campsites and Walmarts or whatever, because some Walmarts are different. Some Walmarts don't let you sleep overnight and most Walmarts do. The apps that we used and a website were Free Roam, the app, and the website freecampsites.net. So I would recommend to you that you write down 5 places in an area which you know you'll be at a certain time, and 5 different places you can sleep that night. Just because we're driving around at 11 o'clock at night looking for places to sleep can be quite, not scary, but it can feel quite stressful. Number 2 is build a budget plan. When I told people I was going on a USA road trip, the first thing to start our conversation off was, that's going to be expensive, which yes it was. We spent over $10,000 on our trip. Yes, it's expensive, but we knew what we were going to be spending our money on. We knew that if we saved it, we could do this. For example, sleeping in rest stops and free Walmarts or free whatever, anywhere we could save money we would, so we can do things later on. And that's something that I think everyone should do, is try and build, all right, we've got to spend $10,000 and it's going towards this, this and this, rather than obviously getting there and your first night on your road trip you stay in a 5-star hotel. The last night of your road trip is not going to be a fun sleep. So I would recommend you do that so you can enable yourself to have fun throughout the road trip, not just like fun one day and then it's saving for the rest. The third point is get a national park pass. Some people do the USA road trip for the amazing cities it has to offer, but for us, we really wanted to see the national parks. We went to over 29 national parks, and for me, that was the best part of our road trip. You can actually order these online, they're about $85, but to get in to each national park is on average around $30. If you want some advice from me, I would say my favorite national parks were Arches, White Sand National Park, and I'd say Yellowstone was quite cool as well. That's definitely something that you don't want to leave behind. Number 4, apps you will need. A phone in today's world is our most useful tool, and for us, to have it in our pocket at any second to pull out, and for example, when I said we were using Free Roam, we could use that app, Free Roam, or other apps we use like Gas Buddy and All Trails would definitely use for us, and I definitely think you should try and find as many apps or whatever you think could help you. Just download them, as most of them are free. Gas Buddy is one that came in really helpful for us, and so Gas Buddy, what it does is it scans your location and finds as many gas stations around you and gives you the cheapest options. This definitely helps out, obviously, when you're trying to save money. That probably saved us a lot of money, as we spent over $1,400 on gas, and that could have been a lot more if we didn't have Gas Buddy. So I would recommend you download that one. Another one we use is All Trails. You have to pay $35 a year for this, but it definitely comes in handy when you're at the national parks and you want to do a hike, and it just gives you a bunch of different hikes that you can do, and then it shows you the trail for them. It tells you how if it's easy or moderate or hard, and it also comes with a bunch of different information of different reviews that people have said about the hike. So that's one that we used, $35 a year. Number 5 is, if you're camping like us, you're definitely going to want to add these items into a basket. First one being the shower bag. The shower bag is, we bought it off Amazon, or you can get it from Walmart as well. It's very useful when you're camping in the middle of nowhere and your hair, like my long hair, gets greasy really quickly, and you can just fill it up in any tap really. You just fill it up, fill up the bag, and then on you go. The second one I'd say is our water jug thing. It's like a big bottle. We filled that up with drinking water. You can do that with a few quarters. That's something that you don't want to run out of, obviously, because of the things that it would do to you. Having water at all times, really useful when you're in hot places like Arizona and California. Those places for us is where we drank the most water because it's just so hot. One last item I would say is a cooler or an ESKY. Not essential, but for us it was, just because we had a lot of food and we wanted to keep it in one place to stop it being affected from the weather conditions or the heat of the car and all sorts of different things. Obviously, being able to put our food in one place and we knew everything was in there was really, really helpful for us. Number 6 is packing clothes. A little bit of a shock for us was when we were in Colorado and in Wyoming and Idaho, and we were in snow in June. For us, that was a big surprise. Maybe people who live out there, they're not surprised by that, but in June, we, 2 city people, we did not expect there to be snow. As you can imagine, we didn't have winter clothes. Just pack the just in case items, as it could be really cold at some points, even if you're doing it in the summer. And if you're doing it in the winter, it could be hotter at some points. It's a very unexpected journey, I guess. That's one thing I would say. Number 7 is go with someone that you don't think you're going to kill by the end of it, because if you're doing a trip like us, you're with this person for a very, very long time, 3 months, 24/7. There's not a second we spent apart from each other. And obviously you have your ups and downs, you have arguments, and you have a lot of fun times. But if you get annoyed with your brother, for example, really easily, I would recommend not going on the trip with your brother. Also, I would not suggest going alone, as it can be quite scary at times. We got into some scary situations where I feel like if I was alone, I definitely would have been a bit more scared, a lot more anxious. So I would recommend just finding someone and going with them. And if you can't find anyone to go with, yeah, go by yourself and just take something to learn, face your fears or whatever. Either way, do it. The last point I have may come out as an obvious point, you won't realize till you're on the trip, but just get out the car as much as you can, because you'll be driving from destination to destination and you won't even be thinking about what's outside the car. Just be driving, looking at the road, and that's it. I'd say look around, and if you see something cool, just get out and just take it in, because that's kind of what the trip is about, is discovering new places. And for us, that was some of our favorite parts, was when we'd get out the car and just find something and just hang around there for a bit. That was really fun for us. So just remind yourself while driving along that, you know, you're on a road trip, you're here to discover new places. So if you see something cool, just pull over and have a walkabout. So thank you for watching. Sorry, it was a bit of a different video. I'm going to try and do some different videos as I'm leading up to my next trip. But I just want to say before I leave you guys, there's a Discord. It's in the link down below. You can join, you can send photos of your travels, you can send videos of that you're making, and you can, or if you just want to chat, you can come talk to me and everyone else who's in there. So yeah, join the Discord, the link's in the description. And also, if you want to listen to the podcast I mentioned before, the link in the description is for that as well. Worn Out Shoes on Spotify. Go watch my other videos because they're good like this one. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon.